Pleasant good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are live at Narberth Playground for Game 4 of the 2020 Delco League Championship Series between Narberth and Wayne. Narberth, the home team tonight, here in Game 4. Wayne with a 2-1 series lead. I'm Joe Greenwich alongside my partner, John Sager. John, two teams here. Both want to get a win. One needs a win. What does Narberth need to do tonight to keep this series going for one more day?
Well, we saw this in the later half of yesterday's game where they rallied from a pretty huge deficit to make it competitive at the end. Ultimately, they fell up short, almost ran out of daylight. They ran out of outs. But just need to capitalize whatever was clicking in those last couple innings where they finally got to the pitcher. They just need to do that here today. And it's must win. So Wayne has a little bit of an advantage where they can maybe hold a pitcher to tomorrow. For Narberth, they don't have that luxury. All hands on deck.
On the flip side, Wayne one win away from its second consecutive Delco League Championship and its 17th overall. What do you think is the key for Wayne tonight? As you said, the pressure all on the other side. What do you think Wayne needs to do to try to lock up the title and prevent that fifth game tomorrow at Devon Prep?
Just do whatever you've been doing all year. It's as simple as that. They were the number one seed. They've had almost an unblemished record, and they've so far, with the exception of one game, handled Narberth fairly well. They just need to come back and do that again.
And Wayne with one loss during the regular season. It came to Narberth. Narberth ended up with two losses as they hit a bit of a skid late, but then both teams went through their quarterfinal series with 2-0 sweeps. Narberth swept its semifinal over Springfield. Wayne had a tough series against Marple Newtown, won it in 3. And here they have the 2-1 lead, looking to try to lock things up tonight. First man up for Wayne will be the shortstop, Nate Sides. He'll be followed by right fielder Alden Mathis and designated hitter Ed Paparella due up here in the first. On the mound for Narberth, right-hander Frank Driscoll. He finished off the 2 playoff wins over Chester. He gets the first pitch in for a called strike, and we're underway here at Narberth Playground. The 0-1 is high. The rest of the lineup, center fielder Will Pfeiffer batting 4th. Third baseman Luke Mutz hits 5th. Dan Williams hits 6th. He plays second base. Left fielder Matt Briner will bat 7th. Tommy Jacobs is at 1st. He bats 8th, and batting 9th behind the plate is Brady Mutz. If that sounds familiar, it should. It's the exact same lineup they came out with last night. As Sides takes strike 2, and the old adage, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. 7 runs, their biggest output through the 3 games of the finals. Basically had that game under control until the late innings. Narberth put a scare into them, showing what they can do. 1-2 pitch popped up, foul out of play. Both of these teams with good pitching at their disposal and also with quick strike offensive capability. Top 2 seeds for a reason. We expect this to be as competitive a game as the first couple ended up being. Swung on and missed. Nate Sides down on strikes to start this one off, which is exactly how last night's game started.
Mentioning the quick strike capability, we saw that on display sort of in the middle, late periods of the game to left field, power to left and center field. Again, Narberth's field, fence in left field, nothing in right and center. So anything hit to right and center will have to be earned.
So I'll bring up Alden Mathis. Mathis hitting .273 on the series. He ropes one to left center. That one's going to get down and eventually find its way to the fence. That is going to be an easy triple for Mathis. They're going to hold him there as he slides in his second triple in as many nights. And Wayne has a base runner 90 feet away with one out here in the first. Talk about having a fence out there, but the way the fence is set up, left field has a normal baseball fence. But left center, that may be more like about center field at most places. And like you said, that ball got down and it kept going. And speaking of getting down and keeping going, that's how Mathis got his inside the park home run last night. Ed Paparella, technically an inside the park home run as well to follow. Hit a ball to the center of the basketball court out in center field. He steps in now as the furthest I've ever seen a baseball go at this park. the sheer bounce. And now they're going to appeal over to second base and say Mathis didn't touch the bag. He's called safe. But the bounce on that ball when it landed at center court showed just how hard that was hit. And the power that Paparella possesses. Say that 3 times fast. Say that 1 time fast.
It's a new tongue twister.
Driscoll from the stretch, his first pitch to Paparella, swung on and missed. Will Pfeiffer waits on deck. Pfeiffer 3 hits last night. Paparella hitting .300 for the series, slugging .800 after some big hits last night. He's got 2 doubles and a home run for his 3 hits. Swung on and missed, nothing in 2. A little feast or famine for the Wayne DH, who has played in right field until last night.
Sometimes power can be a very contagious thing as well. Once guys start hitting the ball far, no one wants to be left out of that equation.
AO2 is upstairs. Crowd filling in here for this. Well, I guess we called Game 3 pivotal. This is potentially decisive Game 4. Now, should Narberth win tonight, we'll be back at Devon Prep tomorrow at 5:30 for the final game of the series and the season as Paparella swings and misses. 2 down. These 2 teams met in the championship series in 2016 and in 2018. Both series went the distance, Narberth winning both. 2016, they won it right here at the playground. 2018, they claimed it out at Villanova Ballpark, where Wayne played some of its home games this season. So Will Pfeiffer steps in, bats from the left side, takes a called strike. Narberth looking to try to win its 3rd title, all against Wayne, all in 5 games. They need to get the win tonight to have that chance. In for a strike, nothing in 2 to Pfeiffer. Luke Mutz waiting on deck. Driscoll from the belt comes home. Pfeiffer fouls it straight back. Nothing in 2 the count, 2 outs here in the top half of the first inning. Alden Mathis at 3rd. The leader in the finals with 4 runs scored, looking to score for the 5th time. The team to score first has won all 3 of the games so far. Wayne trying to get that done here. The 0-2 to Pfeiffer. That one's hit softly in the air to shallow center. That's going to drop. Steve DeBarberi playing deep. A little too deep for either Tommy Toller or Vinny Vacone to get out there. Mathis trots home with the first run of the ball game. Will Pfeiffer an RBI single. It's 1-0.
And that's exactly what Wayne needed. Shake off whatever happened in the last few innings last night, come back today, get back on top early, and set the tone. If they've been hitting well for most of the series, you want to just keep that on a roll.
So I'll bring up Luke Mutz. Mutz hitting .400 for the series. First pitch to him, misses outside. 3 RBI to lead Wayne, although now Pfeiffer has tied him. He's also scored a run. 4 hits, all singles. Takes a called strike. Some key RBI for him yesterday, or rather in Game 1. He also had a big day in the 3rd game of the semifinal series against Marple Newtown to help punch Wayne's ticket to the finals. Runner goes. Pitch on the ground, past Vinny Vacone into left field. That ball was placed perfectly for a hit and run, as with the left-handed hitter at the plate, the shortstop covers the bag, and as he went over to cover the bag, the ball went right where he would have been. It would have been an easy 6-3. Instead, Pfeiffer goes first to 3rd, and Mutz is aboard with a single, and Wayne has another runner 90 feet away for Dan Williams.
I can't remember the last time I saw a hit and run executed that perfectly. Obviously watching a lot of big league baseball, small balls fading a little bit, seeing a hit and run exactly to where the field's been left vacant by going over to cover the bag is something you don't see that often.
That is literally exactly how you draw it up, and there's a pitch in the dirt from Driscoll blocked by Quinn, but Mutz goes down to second base on a wild pitch, and now 2 in scoring position for Williams, the count 1-0, to the longtime Wayne veteran. Although I guess longtime and veteran are a little redundant. A mainstay of the Wayne franchise. The 1-0. Taken for a ball, 2-0.
It's the opposite of a rookie newcomer.
Matt Briner on deck. Williams takes the 2-0 upstairs. He's ahead 3-0. Now, John, this is just a 1-0 game, but ahead 3-0. Big controversy in baseball last night with Fernando Tatis Jr. You think Dan Williams has a green light here?
I think if you're the manager, you definitely want him to hit away, especially with 2 outs, but certainly less of a lead than the Padres were dealing with last night.
Well, Williams takes, and it's ball 4, so the bases are loaded.
And we were speaking about that before the game in terms of how you need to protect a lead late innings. A little tricky when you're interpreting the unwritten rule book. But last night, Narberth showing why you still want to keep hitting. Just tacking on runs. You never know when things happen. Baseball being an untimed sport, literally limitless possibilities.
So Matt Briner steps in with the bases loaded. 1 run in, Wayne looking for more. First pitch from Driscoll, a called strike. Driscoll closed out both wins for Narberth over Chester. We haven't seen him yet in this series. He did get loose on Saturday. So it's been a strong pitcher for them. Needs to get out of this jam with as minimal damage as possible. The 0-1 fouled off and nearly takes out a member of the Narberth coaching staff. Standing next to the L screen instead of behind it.
Luckily, we have a fence doesn't protect us from foul balls that go up in the air, but feel a little comforted
Last
here.
year, doing a little PA announcing out of Concord, I made sure I was firmly behind one of those screens down the first base line. Driscoll's 0-2 is hit on a line, but Jim White is there in foul ground to make the catch, and that will retire the side. Wayne gets 1, but they leave the bases loaded. Do it on 3 hits. We're through a half inning. It's Wayne 1, Narberth coming to bat. This is Game 4 of the Delco League Finals, live on DelcoLeague.com. Bottom half of the first inning, Vinny Vacone leads it off for Narberth. First pitch swinging, hits it on the ground to short. Nate Sides from deep in the hole makes the throw. Tommy Jacobs gets his foot to the bag. 1 pitch, 1 out. For Wayne starter Joe Peluso, another guy we haven't seen in this series. He got the save in Wayne's Game 3 win over Narberth in the semifinals. Over Marple Newtown, rather. That would be impressive to lose in the semifinals and then make it to the finals.
It would be a very 2020 thing to do.
I want to bring up Kevin McGowan. McGowan hitting 300 for the series, takes a called strike. 1-0 Wayne here, bottom half of the first inning. McGowan takes a ball. Wayne did get that first run, which has been critical in the first 3 games of the series, but you might look back and say they only got 1. They had the bases loaded. In the dirt, 2-1.
Oh, and if you're Narberth, here's a chance to get even early, and you escaped out of some trouble in the top of the first. Now is the bottom of the first. It's your time to rebound.
2-1. McGowan chops that one on the ground. Off of Peluso, I think. And out to Williams at second. Over to first in time. A little tough to see the pitcher right behind a joint in the fencing. Can see if that ball maybe struck Peluso. He looked a little ginger coming off the mound there, but no worse for wear. That brings up Jim White. White swinging a hot bat. He had a home run last night, 4 RBI. He is the series leader in that category, hitting .556.
Speaking of tough to see, there's also shadows creeping in as well. It's the first time since Game 1 that we've actually had that as well.
Swings and misses.
Yesterday being a very overcast day with a constant look at AccuWeather. Today, not so much. Gorgeous day.
There were no shadows last night, or it was all shadows?
I'd say all shadows.
These shadows a little more towards home plate than we saw at Wayne. 1-1 to White in the dirt, 2-1. But the one area that is of the side that is in the sun is that Wayne bench area. Much like we saw at Devon, the third base dugout in the shade. First base not so much. And then here, the left side of the infield, mostly in the shadows. The right side in the sun. White chops it over the Narberth dugout. So 2-2 the count. Joe Ravert on deck. He plays first base. Ryan Guckin, the right fielder, bats fifth. Tommy Toll and Mike White at second and left, hitting sixth and seventh. Jim Quinn behind the plate bats eighth. Steve DeBarberi in center field bats ninth. Over to third. Mutz gloves it. Over to first. Beats White by a step. A 1-2-3 inning for Joe Peluso, spreading it around the infield. A ground out to short, a ground out to second, and a ground out to third. We go to the second. Wayne on top 1-0. This is Game 5 live on Delco League. Rather, it's Game 4 live on DelcoLeague.com. Eight 9-1 due up for Wayne here in the top half of the second inning with a 1-0 lead. Tommy Jacobs, Brady Mutz, and then Nate Sides due up. Face Frank Driscoll back out for his second inning of work. Driscoll, a lot of pitches in that first inning. We'll see how he responds. His first offering to Jacobs is taken high for ball 1. Jacobs getting his first start of the series. 1 for 3 with a home run last night. It turned out to be an important insurance run to extend that lead to 7. Takes a called strike. It ended up 7-5. After Narberth got 2 in the 6th and 3 in the 7th. Had the tying run at the plate. Something you never thought you would see in that ballgame. The 1-1. Up and in, 2-1.
I know towards the end of the game you were debating on the terminology for what the tying run would represent, but when you have to go that far down the lineup, it's usually next inning.
I think the answer should be down the line. You've got at bat, on deck, in the hole, and down the line. Jacobs fouls one off out of play. Then you could go way down the line in a particularly egregious blowout, but if you keep it within 1, though, the tying run is always at the plate.
Makes it a little easier on the announcer.
It's less math. 2-2 the count. Driscoll winds and fires. Jacobs sends that straight back. One of the quirks of Narberth Playground here, home plate, the backstop at the corner of Haverford and Wynwood Avenues. These are not exactly back streets. These are main thoroughfares. The 2-2 is high.
And in many instances, the trees around the park actually provide better protection than the netting. At least it slows down the ball. Sometimes, if you have no idea where it's going, I just look for the leaves to fall down. Otherwise, sort of duck and run.
You can hear that traffic in the background later on. You'll surely hear a train or two go by as Jacobs takes up and in for ball 4. The leadoff man is aboard. But with that straight back foul ball lands right in the middle of that intersection. Absolutely no warning for anyone driving by. We've only seen one moving vehicle get hit while we've been broadcasting this year. That was last weekend on a ricochet, but
in some instances, I think we've seen parked vehicles hit.
Yes, we have. We don't need to talk about it as Mutt squares the bunt and bunts that back foul over the netting into the stands. A nice catch by a fan. So 0-1 the count to him. Nate Sides waits on deck. Jacobs playing first base tonight. He's also a catcher. I think he's not really a runner-ish type fellow. Mutt squares the bunt again. Pushes that one down the line. It's fielded by White. He's only got one play at first. So a nice bunt by Brady Mutts. A little bit of that small ball, hit and run and bunt. Wayne not relying on the home runs here tonight. They've got a runner in scoring position with 1 out for the top of the order.
It was a perfect cue shot down the line. Didn't really hit the grass at all, just right on the base path. I don't think that was going to crawl foul either, as it was, hit, sort of almost how, like you said perfectly, it wasn't slowing down to where you might get an advantage of a roll. Third baseman had no choice.
One of those balls that you might normally think you might be better off letting it go foul, but that had some pace on it. His side swings, first pitch, gets it down into left field. Jacobs gets waved around. The throw's going to go into second. It's 2-0 Wayne on the RBI single by Nate Sides.
Well, get him on, get him over, get him in. We've seen that twice today. Hit, run in the first inning. Now, bunt, moving the runner over. Next at bat, runner comes in.
So that'll bring up Alden Mathis. Mathis tripled and scored in the first. He's got a man on first with 1 out. It's the prime part of the order. Wayne, they can do some damage here. Won't say put it away early, but I'd much rather have a lead than be behind. Learned that from Captain Obvious as the throw goes over to first base.
Always a good teacher.
Runner goes, first pitch to Mathis. taken for a ball. Throw down to second, not in time. A stolen base for Nate Sides.
Well, so far Wayne continues to make Narberth work for it, just taking advantage of the opportunities you do have and manufacturing runs, not resting on the laurels of the power display we saw yesterday.
So I want to know the count to Mathis. Bats from the left side. That pitch in the dirt, blocked by Quinn, so Sides will stay where he is.
You almost wonder how much that plays into the team who's leading. It plays into an advantage for them where they have to focus more on manufacturing runs instead of thinking, oh, well, I'll get a home run in the last game that'll push us over. Well, if you're pushing across runs one base at a time, that's not your concern.
Hit out towards left. Mike White has trouble with it. Leaps in the air and makes the catch. It was a much more acrobatic play than I think Mike White was expecting to have to make.
Looks like
Nate
the ball got
Sides
caught.
has to stay at second.
Sorry, it looks like the ball got caught sort of in the sunlight again as the sun set. He's playing in a tricky area where he might be standing in the shadows, but the ball was hit to the sunlight. Probably under better conditions, perhaps even last night, he would have been able to just drift over, but it looks like he had trouble picking up the ball. Sort of went off maybe where the sound is, and he guessed almost right, but he had to adjust at the last second.
White playing deep in the shadows. The ball hit in an area, like you said, where he has to go through the sun to get to it. Hit very hard, kind of probably got up on him in a hurry, but he makes the catch. And brings up Ed Paparello, who swings and misses. Strike one. Wayne on top, 2-0. A man in scoring position with 2 outs here in the second. We got Ed Paparello at the plate, 0 for 1 on the night. Quinn blocks the pitch in the dirt. Nate Sides with a huge secondary lead, but he goes back to second.
Good effort to block the ball, keep it in front of the catcher, and he was able to look up quickly, keep the runner from advancing. I know we've talked about this before, but the backstop around here is fairly spacious. That was in the dirt, but it definitely requires a heads-up effort from catchers.
Sides kind of leaning back towards second. If he had been leaning towards third, he would have been in easily. The 1-1 to Paparella, taken for a called strike. It's 1-2. The pitch. One's hit in the air. Out towards left. It's deep, but it's foul.
That's a good distance on. Definitely had them all, teed up and ready to go. Wonder now if maybe Wayne is thinking of tacking on a couple extra runs through the long ball.
1-2 the count. Driscoll kicks, swung on and missed the off-speed pitch, and he's out of the inning. Paparella down on strikes for the second time in as many innings. 1 run, 1 hit, and they leave 1. Wayne again with some opportunities. They only get the 1. They lead at 2-0. This is Game 4 of the Delco League Championship Series here on DelcoLeague.com. First pitch into Joe Raver to call it strike from Joe Peluso. Peluso working from the stretch with nobody on base. Tap foul, 0-2. Wayne on top, 2-0 here in the bottom half of the second inning. In Game 4, Wayne a 2-1 lead in the series. A win tonight gets them their 17th Delco League Championship and returns the Charlie Crest Trophy back to their trophy case for another year. Swung on and missed. Raver down on strikes. One down. Based on the calendar, I would guess that Wayne has probably had the longest reign as Delco League champion for a one-year champion, having won the title in August of last year, and this year's season being pushed back roughly a week or so compared to past years.
This is
time called. It's Ryan Guckin at the plate, the right fielder for Narberth. First pitch to him, a called strike.
Despite being pushed back, this is the odd time where the Delco League finals coincide with the Stanley Cup playoffs and the NBA playoffs and NFL training camp.
The one time Guckin rips one foul. 0-2.
Sports calendar went from empty to full rather quickly.
Almost too full, especially when you factor in all the soccer being played. You had European leagues. MLS came back with the so creatively named MLS is Back tournament. Guckin swings, hits that one out towards right field. A tough play for Mathis as he's trying to block the sun, but he makes the catch for out number 2.
Oh, at least MLS decided to go with truth in advertising. No one could.
It's like, what should we call our tournament for our return tournament? Well, I mean, what do we say? MLS is back. It works for me. So then you have that. Then you have the Champions League going on in Europe right now. On top of all of those American Sport Playoff Series, which will, should there be an NFL season, which will overlap with the start of NFL season. Sports do everything they can to avoid the NFL, and now they've put their playoffs right up against the NFL as Tommy Toll steps in and takes ball 1. Of course, Major League Baseball really getting cooking now. Toll takes a strike, 1-1. Cooking, of course, until your team has a coronavirus outbreak and has to sit dormant. We've had 3 now. As Toll rips a line drive right at Nate's sides, he makes the catch. 6 up, 6 down in the early going for Joe Peluso. No runs, hits, errors, none left. 2 in the books. Wayne leads it 2-0. This is Game 4 of the Delco League Finals. Live on DelcoLeague.com. Middle of the order due up for Wayne here in the top half of the third inning. The defending champs, the 2-0 lead in the game, a 2-1 lead in the series. Will Pfeiffer steps in against Frank Driscoll. First pitch. Checks his swing, pitches low. It'll be Pfeiffer, Luke Mutz, and Dan Williams, 4, 5, 6, due up. Wayne already with 4 hits in this one. Narberth with Nary a base runner. Driscoll's 1-0. Swung on and missed, 1-1. Pfeiffer with an RBI single in the first. Upping his average for the series into the 400s. Swings, hits that one up the middle. Tommy Toll gloves it. The throw on a bounce, not in time. Some great range to make a play out of it, but Pfeiffer beats out the single. He's aboard for the second time tonight. So up comes Luke Mutz. He's singled. Back in the first, batting in the 5th spot. First pitch to him, misses for a ball. Swings, fouls off. Pitch off the cage. So 1-1 the count to the Wayne third baseman. Jim White even with the bag at third. Joe Ravert holds the runner at first. Toll and Vacone, double play depth up the middle. 1-1 outside. Outfielders playing straight away. Ryan Guckin fairly deep in right field. Runner goes. Pitch is outside. The throw is offline and not in time. A stolen base for Will Pfeiffer. 3-1 the count to Luke Mutz. Wayne clearly going for the jugular here tonight. Not trying to take any chances on sending the series to a Game 5. The 3-1. Popped up. Foul. Out of play. So the count full to Luke Mutz with Dan Williams on deck. That one is on the ground to second. Toll to first. In time, Will Pfeiffer heads to third. Would have been a prime double play candidate had Pfeiffer not stolen second. So one down for Dan Williams. He walked his first time up. Williams takes ball one. He's seen 5 pitches. All of them have been balls. Make that 6. It's 2-0 now to Williams. Two-0 pitch, swung on and missed. 2-1 the count. We'll play for the runner at third. One away in the third with Wayne on top, 2-0. Swung on and missed again, 2-2. Driscoll from the stretch, the 2-2 pitch, taken for a called third strike. So Dan Williams goes down looking for out number 2. So Matt Briner steps in. He lined out to Jim White in foul ground his first time up. First pitch swinging. Can't catch up to it, 0-1. Swung on and missed. Driscoll sending some heat past Matt Briner on the first 2 pitches, 0-2 the count. The 0-2. Pop foul out of play. Briner had an at-bat last night where he fouled off 7 or 8 pitches. Really kind of wore down James Kelly. Back when that game was still kind of in the balance and Kelly had been pitching okay. He'd run into a little trouble early, but did not pitch poorly. And then after that at-bat, just his pitch count started to get higher and higher. 0-2 pitch. Taken high and outside. 1-2 the count. Should he get aboard, Tommy Jacobs waits on deck. Briner swings and misses. He goes down for out number 3. So Wayne gets a runner to third but can't bring him home. No runs, 1 hit. And they just leave the 1. We go to the bottom half of the 3rd inning. Wayne leads at 2-0. This is Game 4 live on DelcoLeague.com. Mike White leads off the bottom half of the 3rd, takes a called strike from Joe Peluso. It'll be White, Jim Quinn, and Steve DeBarberi, 7-8-9 here in the bottom half of the 3rd for Narberth, who trails 2-0. Pitch is low. Trail the game 2-0. They trail the series 2-1. White swings, chops that one down the 3rd base line. Luke Mutz on top, the throw in time. He gets White by a step. There's been some very strong defense on both sides throughout this series. So I'll bring up Jim Quinn. Quinn without a hit in 9 at-bats. He has been hit by a pitch thus far in the series. This will be a great time for him to get that first hit. He takes the first pitch low. Swings, fouls one off. Some weird spin on that one as it might have caromed off his foot. Steve DeBarberi waits on deck. One and one, the count to Quinn. Peluso set at the letters, comes home. Quinn tries to hold up his swing. They appeal. He went around. So 1-2 the count on the pitch in the dirt. One-two pitch. On the ground, then it's just past Luke Mutz into left field. So the first base hit of the series for Jim Quinn is the first base runner of the night for Narberth. But as Wayne has stranded 5 in the first 3 innings, that means Steve DeBarberi represents the tying run, as his brother Matt will take over as a courtesy runner at first base for the catcher Jim Quinn. Courtesy runners in use for catchers only. Helps expedite the between innings process of getting your armor back on. DeBarberi swings at the first pitch, hits it out towards left center. Briner and Pfeiffer coming over. It's Briner who makes the catch in left center field for out number 2. Top of the order, Vinny Vacone grounded out to short his first time up. Throw over to first. Matt DeBarberi is diving back in. Cohn entered the night hitting .333. Lays down a bunt. It's a good one. Peluso off the mound to field it. Throw to first, not in time. Infield single for Vinny Vacone. Puts a runner in scoring position with 2 outs for Kevin McGowan. So McGowan now steps in 0 for 1 on the night. First pitch from Peluso, swung on and tipped in and out of the glove of Brady Mutz. Nothing in 1 the count to Kevin McGowan. Bats from the left side against Joe Peluso. Vinny Vacone at first, Matt DeBarberi, the courtesy runner at second. The pitch. Tap foul. Narberth's first opportunity to get on the board here. After Peluso retired the first 7 hitters of the ball game in order. The 0-2. On the ground towards first. Jacobs slides over and fields it. Throw to Peluso covering in time. And that will retire the side. No runs. 2 hits. Narberth strands 2. We're through 3. Wayne leads at 2-0. This is Game 4 of the Delco League Finals on DelcoLeague.com. Top half of the fourth inning here from Narberth. Wayne, 2 runs, 5 hits. No errors, 5 left. Narberth, no runs, 2 hits. No errors, 2 left. Wayne with that 2-0 lead. Tommy Jacobs swings and misses at strike 1. Frank Driscoll back out on the mound for Narberth. Jacobs fouls one off. 0-2. It'll be Jacobs, Brady Mutz, and Nate Sides due up for Wayne. Mentioned Wayne with 5 runners left on base. Left them loaded in the first, 1 in each of the last 2 innings. Narberth got its first base runner in the third, and they left 2 of them unable to score. Driscoll winds. Pitch was high. Jacobs tried to check his swing defensively. They appeal. Say he didn't go around. Very close as Jacobs trying to get out of the way of the pitch. Took the bat with him. So 1-2 the count. Driscoll kicks. That one's inside. It looks like it got a piece of Jacobs. So he is aboard. Wayne with its leadoff man aboard for the 3rd consecutive inning. For the 2nd time, it's Tommy Jacobs. First via the walk. This time via the hit by pitch. So Jacobs just 1 for 3 in the series. His on base percentage up around 600. So Brady Mutz steps in. Sacrifice bunt back in the 2nd. Helped lead to a run. First pitch from Driscoll. Mutz squares again, pulls it back as Jim White comes charging in. Takes ball 1. Drops a bunt down the third baseline. This one rolls foul. It's 1-1 the count to Brady Mutz. Pulls back the bunt attempt. 2-1 now. Toll and Vacone at double play depth. White a couple steps in on the grass at third. Ravert holding the runner at first. Mutz doesn't square. Swings and misses. Runner goes and the throw ends up in center field, but Jacobs with a bit of an awkward slide, not able to capitalize the stolen base for Tommy Jacobs. So 2-2 the count to Brady Mutz. Likely not bunting here. He's got a man in scoring position, though, with nobody out. Pitch. Checks his swing. Pitches down and in. Some activity in that Narberth bullpen. Mutz fouls one off. Count stays full. Warming up for Narberth, looks like left-hander Jordan Morales. Driscoll set, the 3-2 pitch. Hit in the air, foul out of play. Lengthy at bat here for Brady Mutz. Three-two pitch is high, works a walk. So runners at first and second now, without a hit. As Brian Mager calls time, he's going to head out to have a chat with Frank Driscoll. We'll see what comes of it. Not sure if Morales is ready. He stopped throwing, so he's probably good to go. Well, you imagine this won't be a pitching change because they're not really stalling for time. He's not throwing. So Driscoll's going to stay in the game. Nate Sides, top of the order, steps in. He's got 2 on and nobody out here in the 4th. His 3rd time up. He's 1 for 2. He singled, stole a base, drove in a run. He's also struck out. Key spot in this ball game. Wayne with a 2-0 lead. They've got 2 on and nobody out. Really use some breathing room. We saw Narberth get 5 runs in 2 innings last night. So this game won't be over until it's over. But they can sure make it difficult as the side squares and bunts it straight back. The 0-1 side squares again, pops that one up, but it's again foul. So not very good bunts from Nate Sides. He's behind 0-2. So he'll be likely swinging away here. Pitch from Driscoll. On the ground to second, short rather, could be 2. Vacone to second for 1. Back to first, not in time to get Sides. Goes out of play. So Tommy Jacobs is going to score. Instead of a double play, they end up with just 1 out and a run in. On the play, Sides will go to second, so it's now 3-0 Wayne. No RBI for Sides. As he will go to second on the error by Toll. And that will be it for Frank Driscoll as Brian Mager heads back out to the mound. A pitching change here at Narberth Playground. 1 down in the 4th. Wayne with 1 in, a 3-0 lead, looking for more. We'll be right back here on DelcoLeague.com. Left-hander Jordan Morales on. First batter he faces will be left-hander Alden Mathis. Morales making his first appearance in the series. He's got a runner on second, one out here in the fourth. Wayne with a 3-0 lead. Trying to extend it. Mathis takes the first pitch from the left-hander, a fastball low, 1-0. Ed Paparella, the on-deck hitter. Morales checks the runner. Comes home. That pitch is low, so it's 2-0. Mathis swings, hits to short. Vacone over to first in time. 2 away. So Paparella 0 for 2. A couple of strikeouts against Frank Driscoll. This will be his first crack at the left-hander Morales. Talked about it in the open, you know. You may not want to dip into your bullpen this early, especially with one of your better pitchers starting the game, but Narberth has to pull out all the stops. First pitch to Ed Paparella in for a strike. And for the Mudcats, there is no tomorrow if they don't win this one. Wayne might be able to ride Joe Peluso a little longer. As the pitch to Paparella misses. That one's in the dirt. It bounces away. Nate Sides will scamper home. A wild pitch. By Morales. And that will close the book on Frank Driscoll. 4 runs. Gave up 5 hits, struck out 5, walked 3, hit a batter in 3 1/3 innings. Paparella swings and misses. Count even at 2-2. Nobody on, 2 down in the fourth. Wayne with 2 across to double their lead to 4-0. Paparella rips that one into left center for a base hit, his first hit of the day. So I'll bring up Will Pfeiffer. Pfeiffer 2 for 2 with an RBI and a stolen base. 6 for 13 in the series with 3 RBI. First pitch swinging on the ground to short. Vacone goes the short way to second, and that will retire the side, but Wayne gets 2. They only get 1 hit, but they get the runs on a hit batter, a walk, an error, a wild pitch. They leave 1. We're at the midpoint of this one. Wayne leads at 4-0. This is Game 4 of the finals, live on DelcoLeague.com. Jim White leading off the bottom of the fourth for Narberth. Fly ball out to center. He is retired for out number 1. Joe Ravert will be up next. Ryan Guckin on deck. Wayne on top, 4-0. Trying to clinch their second consecutive Delco League Championship, their 17th overall. First pitch from Joe Peluso in the dirt. That one's on the ground at first. Jacobs bobbles it, gets it to Peluso in time to get Ravert. So 2 quick outs for Wayne. So Ryan Guckin steps in 0 for 1 on the day. Just 2 hits thus far for Narberth. They both came in the third, a single by Jim Quinn and a bunt single by Vinny Vacone. Guckin swings first pitch, hits that one out towards right center. Alden Mathis is there, a quick shutdown inning for Joe Peluso. 4 full in the books. Wayne leads 4-0. This is game 4 of the finals, live on DelcoLeague.com. Luke Mutz takes a called strike to start the top half of the fifth. Wayne on top, 4-0. That's the sound of the Wayne train rolling through in the background. Mutz takes inside. It'll be Luke Mutz, Dan Williams, and Matt Briner. Each getting their third trip through the order. Jordan Morales back on the mound. Pitch swung on and fouled off. A 1-2 the count. Morales got the final 2 outs of the fourth. Swung on and missed. So Luke Mutz down on strikes. First strikeout for Morales. Hard throwing youngster out of LaSalle. That brings up Dan Williams. Takes a called strike. Swings and misses in a fastball. Quickly behind 0-2. Now time is called. Morales was into his windup. Narberth dugout doesn't like that. Narberth dugout probably not liking much of anything right now, down 4-0 with only 9 outs left. Morales from the windup, the 0-2. Williams fouls it out of play. Williams taps another one foul. Count remains 0-2 with Matt Briner on deck. On the ground towards third, it will roll foul. Pitch to Williams, misses outside. So 1-2 to the Wayne second baseman. Morales kicks. Misses high. Count goes 2-2. Two swung on and missed. Back-to-back strikeouts for Jordan Morales. 2 down for Matt Briner. Takes the first pitch for a called strike. One's on the ground to second. Toll will have to go quickly. He does. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Jordan Morales. The first time that Wayne has gone down in order tonight. No runs, hits, errors, none left. Go to the home half of the fifth. Wayne leads at 4-0. This is Game 4 of the Delco League Finals on DelcoLeague.com. First pitch, Tommy Toll misses for a ball. The 1-0 in for a called strike. Joe Peluso out there on the mound for Wayne here. Bottom half of the fifth inning. Wayne on top, 4-0. 9 outs away from a title. Toll swings, hits that one out towards left. It's deep, but so is Matt Briner. Makes a catch for out number 1. So Mike White steps in, 0 for 1 on the day. First pitch swinging, deep in the hole. It gets past sides into left field, and the Mudcats have a base runner. So Jim Quinn, 1 for 1 on the night. First pitch tops foul. Bottom of the 5th, Narberth trailing by 4, but as we saw last night, no lead is too big, no deficit too large to be overcome. That pitch hits Quinn right on the elbow guard, so hard it knocks it off of his arm. Sure, that still stings. And he will be able to go back to the bench and nurse the wound a little bit as Matt DeBarberi, the courtesy runner, trots out to take over for him. So, right where we were in the 3rd, Narberth with 2 aboard. This time they do it with 1 out instead of 2. So Steve DeBarberi steps in. 0 for 1 on the night. First pitch to him, a called strike. Mike White, the runner at 2nd. Matt DeBarberi, the courtesy runner at 1st. 2 on, 2 out in the 3rd. They got 1 out here in the 5th. They couldn't cash in before. They really need to now. As the pitch gets away from Mutz, the runners move up. Now they're going to call time as the ball rolled into a dead ball area, so they're going to award the runners each 1 base. They were on their way to 2nd and 3rd, so they'll stay there. So now 2nd and 3rd with 1 out. Base hit from DeBarberi could cut this deficit in half. Give us a ball game. Swung on and missed. So 1-2 the count. Vinny Vacone waits on deck. He's got one of the 3 hits for Narberth tonight. DeBarberi takes outside, a close pitch, 2-2. Swung on, hit high in the air. Could be trouble. Pfeiffer coming in. That one's going to drop between 3 Wayne fielders. A base hit for Steve DeBarberi, the first run of the game for Narberth. It's now 4-1. Pfeiffer was coming in a long way. Sides, the shortstop was going out, and Dan Williams was in the area. Alden Mathis coming in. Ultimately, it drops. It's a different kind of seeing eye single. An RBI for DeBarberi. White scores. And now with 1 out in the 5th, a tying run at the plate, Vinny Vacone. Time called. No one throwing yet for Wayne. Vacone swings first pitch. Mutt struggles, but he gets it over to first in time. Infield drawn in a little bit. The run scores. It's now 4-2. The RBI ground out by Vinny Vacone. Narberth dugout was charged up before. They've got some more life now. Steve DeBarberi, the runner at second. 2 outs for Kevin McGowan. First pitch to him. He swings. Hits that one in the air down the right field line. Alden Mathis on the way over. Reaches up. Makes the catch, but it hit the tree. So it's a live ball. DeBarberi scores. McGowan stuck at first. Ground rules here at Narberth say that ball's in play. It's not caught for an out. It's the tree serving kind of like a wall out there in right field. So it's a single for McGowan and RBI. It's now a 4-3 ball game. So now Jim White steps in. White hit a home run last night. He does it here. Narberth will take the lead. Wayne Infield playing back. First pitch, White swings, fouls that one off to a different tree, well out of play. Peluso shakes off a sign. Now he's got one he likes. In the dirt. 1-1. Talk about the quick strike Narberth offense. A little unconventional here in the 5th, but they've gotten back to within a run. Doesn't matter how you do it, so long as you do it. White swings, fouls it off out of play again. It's just a little late on the fastballs from Peluso. McGowan at first, 2 down in the 5th. Kind of felt like if Narberth was going to get in the game, they had to do it now. And they sure got back into it. As White swings and misses. Fooled by the breaking ball. That'll retire the side, but Narberth gets 3. They do it on 3 hits. They leave the tying run aboard. We go to the 6th. It's 4-3 Wayne. This is Game 4 of the Delco League Finals on DelcoLeague.com. Back here for the top half of the 6th inning. Wayne holding on to a 4-3 lead. Jordan Morales back on the mound for Narberth. First pitch to Tommy Jacobs is hit a long way down the right field line. That's going to be a foul ball. We're joined by the president of the Delco League, Nick Ducombe. Nick, you joined us on opening night, and here you are in the finals. Thanks for being with us.
Oh, thanks for having me. I'm thrilled to be here. You know, when we spoke on opening night, there was tremendous uncertainty. So, I never took anything for granted. So, I'm just very pleased to be here.
Nearly 2 months later, got two teams contesting the Charlie Crest Trophy, which is sitting a couple feet away from us as Jacobs takes strike two. Wayne and Narberth, top two teams throughout the year. Your Marple Newtown squad put a real scare into Wayne as Jacobs takes one low.
Yeah, we definitely had some fun. I wish we could have closed the deal and gotten out of that series and here to the championship, but just a little short. We just I think same thing last time we spoke back in July. We just left a few too many men on base. Unfortunately, didn't get the timely hit, and Wayne got out of the series, and obviously putting up a good showing here in the finals as usual.
Jacob swings and misses. He goes down on strikes. First pitch to Brady Mutz in for a called strike. You talked about the team had some fun this year. A lot of influx of younger college players from the area as their college leagues were canceled. Mutz takes one right between the numbers. Morales, a hard thrower. That one can't really tickle. So he'll trot down to first base. But a lot of the younger guys had plans to play in other college leagues, canceled, came in here. What did you think across the league of the influx of the talent? What did you think of the quality of the players, the quality of the pitching, and just the buy-in that you got from everybody to commit to following protocols, to trying to stay safe and stay out of any sort of medical trouble and to protect themselves and their teammates?
To answer the second question first, I thought that especially as we went along, the buy-in was tremendous.
Nate Sides hits one up the middle. Vinny Vacone slips as he tries to field it. Now Steve DeBarberi drops it. Instead of a double play, it's going to be first and third with one out on an awkward single up the middle for Nate Sides.
I thought that the guys did a great job with the safety protocols, both on the field and while they were away from the team, because obviously we pushed them to practice the best safe habits that they could while they were away from the team too. We obviously had a couple instances with testing, and a couple isolations, but overall, we certainly prevented any type of, outbreak or, any, there were a token amount, of tests. Nothing near like what I was expecting, so I'm just very, very pleased with that and how that all turned out. And of course, perhaps we got a little bit lucky with that as well, but I'll take it.
Count 1-1 to Alden Mathis. Mathis 1 for 3 with a triple. And you've been here for all three games, and Mathis out towards center. DeBarberi dives, makes the catch. They will throw in. Sean Mulholland, the courtesy runner, scores. We might see an appeal at third base, but for the time being, nothing. A big run for Wayne to get a little more breathing room. Looked to me that Mulholland may have left very early.
I thought he might have left early myself, just watching it up here from you, with you. But and then just to close the loop on that as well, with the talent across the league. Wow. You saw a bunch of the games yourself doing these broadcasts. I thought that, the level of play that we had, the pitching, the quality, the amount of players on the rosters, and they came out every night. Every team had 18 or 20 guys, ready to go each and every night. The guys are really hungry for baseball. With all the uncertainty, as I stated, when I first got on the air with you, with the pandemic, it really turned out to be one of the most competitive, tightly contested Delco League seasons we've had.
And no different here tonight. The last two nights, Wayne taking kind of a big early lead. Narberth clawing back into it a little earlier tonight than they did last night. And these two, the class of the league the last bunch of years.
No doubt about it.
They kept that up this season. As a manager, what is it do you think about these teams that keeps them in this position? Is it roster construction? Is it an approach to the game? Is there something that gives these guys the edge as Morales throws over to first again and Sides is back safely?
I certainly think the rosters, and as you mentioned, the roster construction of both these organizations has been, second to none. Really, the the last decade, but especially the last 5 or 6 years, is they find themselves regularly battling for the championship. But just using Wayne as an example too, their hitters do take a real professional approach, so their approach to the game is real strong. Narberth generally puts out a lineup where 1 through 9, they're all hitters. They can all hit. There's no slouch in the lineup. There's no way to get around them, and it makes it very difficult. And of course, adds the victories add up when you have that kind of team.
2-1 the count to Ed Paparella. Sorry.
No. I mean both these organizations. From Steve DeBarberi with Wayne and Chuck Freeman and Brian Feely with Wayne. I'm sorry, Steve with Narberth. They have just done a tremendous job. As I said, really, in the last 5 or 6 years, producing putting a quality product out on the field each and every night.
Morales throws over to first. 3-1 the count to Paparella. We talked about earlier, Ed Paparella hit a home run last night out to center field. He hit it out to the basketball court. Have you ever seen a ball hit farther here in Narberth? I don't know that you really could hit a ball much farther.
By far the longest ball I've ever seen hit here.
Oh, and there's another one. Way back. Mike White doesn't even flinch. A long home run out to left field by Ed Paparella. Almost on cue. That one could have rivaled last night's if we could possibly see where it landed. That might not have gone into someone's front yard. That may have gone over someone's house into a backyard. Demolishes that pitch.
Oh, my goodness.
It's 7-3 Wayne.
That ball was crushed, and it was as high and majestic as it was far.
I don't think it hit its downward peak in sight. That was still rising when it left the playground.
As we say on the field, that was a bomb.
And it might be it for Jordan Morales. So it looks like we're going to have a pitching change. So while we do that, now 7-3 on the Titanic home run.
That really stifles the momentum Narberth had built trying to get back in the game, in the bottom of the fifth. I mean, they rallied for those runs. You get back to 4-3, and now here in the sixth, with the offensive production and that long home run.
Just the
7-3 game again.
The concept of a shutdown inning being so important when your team gets a couple of runs, and especially when you're trailing, you need to get back into it. It does not include any leeway for a big home run like that. Wayne has gotten back all 3 runs that Narberth scored in the fifth. Left-hander Tom Kane on the mound for Narberth, making his first appearance. No pitcher has pitched in 2 games in this series thus far. Peluso warmed up in game 1, but Matt Isle finished it off. And with that home run, another
You might. I do think we're likely to see Peluso at least in the sixth. But if I may, you right on cue, as you said, you had been asking me about how far the home run went last night. Well, I've been coming here, as a player and manager for longer than I care to mention, and I can honestly say that they are the 2 longest home runs I've seen here.
Both off the bat of Ed Paparella, making a case for, if not most valuable, certainly the most awe-inducing performance. A couple of guys on the Wayne side certainly can make arguments. Paparella, one of them, and he's certainly doing it in the most spectacular fashion.
Yes, that was huge.
Just took all of the air out of the Narberth bench and this crowd.
I think you might be right. I mean, that one, we don't have the technology or the tape measure, but that one might have been longer than the one last night.
That would have broken StatCast as Kane's first pitch to Will Pfeiffer is in the dirt, 1-0. 7-3, Wayne leading. The 1-0 pitch. Pfeiffer takes the called strike. In case you've just joined us, where have you been? Here in the sixth with nursing a 1-run lead. Brady Mutt's hit by a pitch. His courtesy runner comes around to score on a sac fly. by Alden Mathis. Pfeiffer rips one through the right side into right field for a base hit. And then Ed Paparella with just the exclamation point. If Wayne holds on to win this one, it will serve as the exclamation point on the entire season.
I'll tell you, Will Pfeiffer's had himself quietly a nice series, and he had himself a real nice series when we played them in the semifinals. So it's probably safe to say he's having a real good postseason here.
He's going to go down to second on a wild pitch as Luke Mutz, another guy who's been producing for Wayne here in the postseason, takes ball one. Paparella 2 for 4 tonight. 5 out of 12 in the series. 4 RBI. 3 runs scored. Mutt swings. Misses strike one. Pfeiffer 3 for 4. 7 out of 15. Couple RBI. Chopped towards the bag at second. Vinny Vacone fields it. Throws in one smooth motion, and that will retire the side. But oh my, was the damage done. A sac fly from Alden Mathis and an all-time memorable home run from Ed Paparella. 3 runs on 3 hits. No errors. Wayne leaves 1. We'll go to the bottom of the 6th. Nick, thanks for joining us.
Joe, thanks for having me, and thanks for all the great work that you've done this year in this pandemic season for the Delco League. I really appreciate it, and hopefully we'll see this to the end, and it'll be a shorter all season this year.
Well, thank you for the kind words. We did say earlier how Wayne, the longest reigning single-year champ over a calendar year, but they are 6 outs away from extending that reign for at least another 50 weeks or so. Thanks again, Nick, for joining us. We're going to go to the 6th inning with Wayne on top 7-3. This is Game 4 of the Delco League Finals on DelcoLeague.com. Joe Ravert takes the first pitch for a ball rather. The second one is low for ball 2. 2-0 to Ravert. Wayne on top 7-3 here in Game 4. 6 defensive outs away from the Delco League title. In the dirt, 3-0. Ravert swings and misses. Count 3-1 rather. It's Ravert, Guckin, and Toll due up for the Mudcats. Find themselves right back where they were an inning ago, down by 4. Swung on and fouled down the line. So Peluso will ask for a new baseball. 3-2 the count to Ravert. Peluso will ask for a new baseball. 3-2 pitch. That one's hit a long way out to left. Heading back is Briner. He's at the fence. He reaches up and makes the catch. Ravert needed just a little bit more to get that one out. So Ryan Guckin to the plate. He flew out to right field twice. No activity in the Wayne bullpen. Looks like James Santor throwing for Narberth. Pluso from the stretch. First pitch to Guckin. Outside for a ball. One 0. Roped down the third base line and snagged by Luke Mutz. In the right place at the right time. And that's 2 down. Tommy Toll to the plate, 0 for 2 on the night. Takes the first pitch for a ball. Pitch misses inside, so it's 2-0 to Toll. Swings, hits that one. Foul territory down the third base line. Still in play. Mutz can't quite find it, and it drops. So 2-1 the count. Two down here in the last of the sixth. Narberth trails at 7-3. Pitch is low. Toll ahead in the count, 3-1. Pitch is inside. Tommy Toll, 2-out base runner. So Mike White steps in, singled in the fifth, scored a run. He hit a home run in game 2. Swings, fouls it off towards his own bench. Both teams very engaged in this one. The Wayne players can almost sense the trophy in their grasp. Narberth fighting till the bitter end as White takes a pitch in the dirt. You know, we waited all through the spring and the early summer before finally getting back out here to play. Kind of a mad dash to the playoffs through July. Here we are mid-August in the finals. It's not the time to fold up the tent now as White rips another foul ball. Both of these teams with a championship pedigree. A lot of these Narberth players a part of the championship seasons of 16 and 18. A number of these Wayne players were here last year. White hits that one a long way to left. It's deep. Briner looks up. That ball is gone. Mike White with his second home run of the series. Not so fast, my friends. It's 7-5. Wayne up by 2. I just said they were not going to quit, and Mike White takes Joe Peluso deep. So now Jim Quinn will step in. The porch in left field, I wouldn't call it short. It's not exactly deep. Neither of those home runs that we've seen tonight were wall scrapers, though. They would have been gone out of most any ballpark you can find as Quinn rips one foul out of play. 1 for 1 on the night. He singled in the third, hit by a pitch in the fifth. Tying run now on deck in the person of Steve DeBarberi. Swung on and missed, 0-2. Pluso set. Quinn swings, chops to third, handcuffs Mutz a little bit. The long throw is in time to get Quinn, and that will retire the side. But Narberth gets 2 back. They do it on a walk and a home run by Mike White. We go to the 7th. Wayne leads it 7-5. This is Game 4 of the Delco League Finals on DelcoLeague.com. Top half of the 7th inning. Dan Williams leads it off against Tom Kane. He takes ball 1. Wayne leads 7-5. An offensive flurry the last couple innings. Williams takes ball 2. It's Williams, Briner, and Jacobs due up for Wayne. 2-0. On the ground to short. Vacone fires, 1 down. If ever Narberth needed a shutdown inning, it is now. They trail by 2. Wayne on the cusp of another Delco League title. Narberth will have Steve DeBarberi and then the top of the order, Vinny Vacone, Kevin McGowan due up. So they got the part of the lineup they need coming to the plate, but they need to shut down Wayne here in the 7th. First pitch to Matt Briner is high for ball 1. Last 2 games have gotten wild late. Called strike. Briner, not a fan. Called strike, 1-2 the count now. Briner taps that one back up the middle, just past Kane. Vacone on the run, fields it, gets it to first in time. Quickly 2 away. And Vacone trying to take care of this inning himself. Tommy Jacobs steps in, 0 for 1. He walked, was hit by a pitch as well. First pitch swinging, fouls it off out of play. That ball hit off of something, then came back and hit a car. So 0-1 the count to Jacobs. Kane Wines. The pitch. Outside, ball 1. Brady Mutz on deck should the inning continue. That one's high, 2-1. Fouled back, out of play. Two and two the count to Jacobs. The southpaw winds. 2-2 pitch. On the outside corner, a called strike. And that will retire the side of 1-2-3 inning for Wayne in the 7th. They lead at 7-5, and they have a chance to clinch the title with 3 more outs. We'll be right back on DelcoLeague.com. Culver Hughes on to try to close it out here for Wayne. First pitch to Steve DeBarberi, misses for ball 1. Wayne on top, 7-5. Hughes looking for the save. Help clinch the title for Wayne, and that one misses inside again, 2-0. Narberth dugout alive, knowing that it's the end of the line, and now some argument from the Wayne dugout gets a reaction from the home plate umpire. But Narberth knows if they don't get at least 2 here in the 7th, it's over for them. 2-0 pitch from Hughes in the dirt. So 3-0 the count to DeBarberi. Vinny Vacone on deck. And a 4-pitch walk for Steve DeBarberi. Brings up the tying run, Vinny Vacone. You can hear the crowd in the background. No matter what side they're on, they're both into it. Really into it here in the 7th. First pitch to Vacone is in the dirt. So Brady Mutz is going to go out to talk to Culver Hughes. Wayne 3 outs away from championship number 17. All coming in the last 33 seasons. Narberth looking to hang on, push this to a game 5. Hughes from the stretch. Inside, 2-0. Brian Feely, the Wayne manager, pacing back and forth. Nobody said it was going to be easy. But you don't have to make it more difficult on yourself. 2-0 from Hughes, swung on and hit towards short. Signs over to second for 1. Back to first, not in time. So 1 down. So the tying run is now Kevin McGowan. McGowan 1 for 3 on the day. An RBI single in the 5th, that weird play where he hit the ball and it hit the tree before Alden Mathis caught it, meaning the ball was not an out. Pitch is low, 1-0. Jim White on deck, 0 for 3 on the night, but came into the game hitting .556 in the series. A dangerous hitter, nonetheless. The 1-0 in the dirt gets away from Mutz. Vacone will go down to second, erasing the double play opportunity, putting him in scoring position with 1 down. That's the beauty of this ball game right now. No matter what side you support, everyone in the stands, hands clasped together, hands under their chin, arms folded. If you're a Narberth fan, you know 2 outs and your season's over. If you're a Wayne fan, the tying run's at the plate. You still need to get 2 outs. Another one in the dirt, 3-0. Always dramatic when these two teams get together in the finals. McGowan takes a strike. McGowan, we mentioned last night, with the double play out at second base 4 years ago to end Game 5 of the finals and set off the celebration for Narberth's first title. 3-1 in for a called strike. McGowan about to toss the bat aside. So the count full to the designated hitter. Jim White waits on deck. Vinny Vacone, the man at second, 1 down here. The last of the 7th. Hughes fires. McGowan swings. One's on the ground to short. Sides fields it. Throw picked nicely by Jacobs. Vacone stays at second. 2 down. And through the doors of the Last Chance Saloon walks Jim White. White 0 for 3 on the night. 5 out of 12 in the series, a double, a home run, 4 RBI. Joe Ravert waits on deck should White keep things going. Vacone a big lead off second, no one interested in holding him. First pitch to White on the inside corner, strike 1. Hughes set at the belt. Eyes the runner, comes home. White swings, fouls it off, 0-2 the count. There's baseball for you. One pitch here could end the season, could tie the game up, or just about anything in between. The 0-2. Hit out towards left on the line. That one's going to be right into the glove of Matt Briner. And Wayne has won the 2020 Delco League Championship. Wayne wins this one 7-5. They win the series 3-1. Their 17th championship in club history. Congratulations to manager Brian Feely, owner Chuck Freeman, and all the guys on that Wayne roster. A tip of the cap to Steve DeBarberi, Brian Megger, and the Narberth squad. Certainly fought till the end. Another strong regular season. These two rivals meeting in the finals once again. This time it's Wayne that takes it 3-1. A 7-5 win here in Game 4. For Wayne, 7 runs on 9 hits, no errors. They left 7. For Narberth, 5 runs, 6 hits, 1 error. They left 4 aboard. The winning pitcher, Joe Peluso, 6 innings. First 3 or 4 innings, very strong. Ran into trouble late on, but ultimately they're able to hold on for the win. The loss to Frank Driscoll. The save for Culver Hughes. Stick with us here. We're going to try to stay with you as long as we can, as long as we've got battery. See if we can find out who's going to be the MVP of this championship series. My money would be on Ed Paparella or Will Pfeiffer. I'm not sure if we do co-MVPs, but we'll find out in just a second. Well, the Charlie Crest Trophy on its way over to the Wayne dugout to be presented to Brian Feely and his squad. Wayne, just the one regular season loss, and it came to Narberth. So Wayne then suffered a loss in Game 1 of the semifinals to Marple Newtown. Backs against the wall in Game 2. Marple Newtown had the bases loaded in the bottom of the 6th inning of a tie ball game. Not able to get the winning run across. They had the winning run on base in the 7th of that game. And then a 6-run 8th inning for Wayne really kind of snapped them out of whatever funk they'd been in. They won that game in extras. They won Game 3 6-3 to advance to the finals. A 4-1 win in Game 1 at home before Narberth leveled the series with a 7-1 win in Game 2. And then like a tennis match here at Narberth Playground, a couple of 7-5, 7-5 wins for Wayne. Gives them the title, number 17 in club history. Over the last 33 years, they've won more than half the titles. The trophy is over there right now. We're hearing that Ed Paparella will be named the MVP of the finals, and he certainly made a statement with his last at-bat, 2 for 4 tonight. Ends the series 5 out of 14 at the plate. 3 runs scored, 4 RBI, 2 home runs, both of the Titanic variety. 2 of the hardest hit balls you're ever going to see at any level of the game. 2 of the farthest traveling baseballs ever hit here in Delco League play at Narberth Playground. So Ed Paparella, the MVP of the championship series. Wayne wins it tonight 7-5. They win the series 3-1. Thank you all for tuning in tonight, throughout the playoffs, throughout the regular season. As we tried to bring you the action, if you couldn't come here, we thought we would bring it to you. Season ultimately has to be considered a rousing success. Abbreviated 16 games of pop. Playoff series for everyone. And a championship series won by Wayne as it was last year. This year, a 3-1 win over Narberth. On behalf of President Nick Ducombe, my broadcast partner, John Sager, I'm Joe Greenwich. Thank you for listening tonight. Thank you for listening this week, and as you have throughout the playoffs and the season. Once again, Wayne, your 2020 Delco League champions, with a 7-5 win. They take the series 3-1. Thank you, everybody, and have a good night.